Hi, good afternoon. So I have a quick question. What's black and white and red all over? If you answered a newspaper, you're probably right. I'm actually here to talk to you guys about a different kind of method of writing. I'm here to talk to you guys about journal keeping. I chose journal keeping as my cultural artifact because even though writing is a thing of the past, since we do have our phones in our pockets and available to us at a snap of a finger to just jot down any quick notes or anything, taking out 20 to 30 minutes out of our day to sit down and really declutter our brain and just write things out does make a difference. Writing is a stress reliever and a great form of reflection of our accomplishments, our dreams, our inventions. Maybe you want to create something, you got to take that time out of the day to sit down and really put pen to paper and realize what it is that you're trying to do. Just some quick background information about writing. Western civilization has worked more than 3,000 years to develop a method of writing that was going to be strategical in the long run, that was going to help develop ideas and thoughts, because they knew that writing ultimately was going to be a form of people to always learn, because they're going to be able to always look back at writing as a way to learn. Journal keeping is part of my culture because it helps me as a coping mechanism. Coming from a Hispanic household, we're not very open with our emotions, and we don't talk so freely amongst ourselves. So I've always taken the time out of my day to go into my journal and just, if there's any problems or anything going on, I really take the time out of the day to jot them down, just because I know that later on I could reflect on it and be like, okay, if I overcame this, I'll be able to overcome whatever I'm going through at the moment. So that's how journal keeping plays a part in my culture, is by being my coping mechanism when life gets a little crazy. Journal keeping represents an important value in my traditions because it helps me organize myself and carry myself maturely and to develop my thoughts and ideas and emotions. Journal keeping is very important because it shares a lot of good values. It helps me organize my thoughts, improve and train my writing. I do have really bad grammar and just my writing looks like chicken scratch. So being able to sit there calmly and write whatever I have to write down is something that helps me grow as a person. It helps me boost my moods. Sometimes, life gets the best out of you, so it helps me take a moment to decluster and just, breathe. It enhances my memory. It does help me remember a lot of things. Writing in my journal helps me keep track of my schoolwork, so that's a big plus. I identify with journal keeping because, like I said, it's a good way to self-reflect on one's accomplishments and just being able to say, like, I lived through whatever I lived through, and it was me. I did that. It helps me grow as an individual because it does help me look at things from a different perspective. Sometimes we are very close-minded as individuals to our way of doing things. So when you kind of step back and see the bigger picture, it does do that for me. Writing does do that for me. Sometimes it helps me express things that I can't say out loud so freely, especially being shy. It's something that helps me just kind of, if I have a thought or an idea that I want to share eventually, I write it down. So I build up the courage enough to be able to just present myself out there and be able to share my ideas with everybody else. And it just overall helps me grow and develop. Overall, writing helps me express myself as an individual. It helps me keep my individuality, flourishing. Writing helps me stress relieve, and that's a big thing, especially nowadays that we're just home stuck. It helps me just kind of like keep the ball rolling. I have so many ideas that I'm gonna hopefully later on accomplish, so it just helps me do that as a pastime. It's a great reflection of my accomplishments, and in the long run, it's just gonna help me stay on top of things and be able to carry it on. And even though we do have our phones and we have technology at a snap of a finger, writing is just something that writing an article and seeing your article published, or writing in the New York Times and seeing your article published, it's going to be a really good self-reflection, especially for the industry that I want to go into. And yeah, thank you guys.